Part 1. Preparing the perfect binding strip. First, let's prepare the binding fabric itself. Accurate preparation is the foundation of a great result. You will need to calculate the exact length of fabric required. Start by measuring the full length and width of your finished quilt. Add those two numbers together and then multiply that sum by 2. This gives you the quilt's perimeter. To this total, you must add an extra 12 to 16 inches. This crucial extra length gives you the flexibility needed to create perfect corners and to join the ends of your binding without any stress or pulling. The width of your binding is a matter of personal choice, but a width of 3 inches is a great place to start, as it provides a substantial and durable edge. Now, you will join your fabric strips to create one continuous piece. We will use a diagonal seam, which is the professional standard because it distributes the fabric's bulk, making the final binding smoother and flatter. To do this, lay the ends of the two strips together at a perfect 90-degree angle, making sure the right sides of the fabric are facing each other. Pin them in place to prevent any shifting. Using a fabric marker, draw a 45-degree diagonal line from the top corner to the bottom corner. This line is your precise sewing guide. Carefully sew a diagonal seam directly on this line. Once sewn, trim the excess corner fabric, leaving about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then press this seam open with a hot iron. This step is vital for reducing bulk. Repeat this process until all your individual strips are sewn together into one single long piece of binding. For the final preparation step, fold the entire binding strip in half lengthwise with the wrong sides of fabric together. Press it firmly with your iron along the entire length. This creates the crisp double fold binding that is now ready to be attached to your quilt. Part 2. Attaching the binding to your quilt. We will begin by stitching the binding to the front of the quilt. Start by laying out your quilt on a flat surface with the right side facing up. It's best to start attaching the binding about halfway along one of the sides, not near a corner. Now we will prepare a special starting point that makes joining the ends incredibly neat. Using a ruler and pins, measure 1 inch down from the raw end of your binding strip and mark it with a pin. From that first pin, measure another 3 inches down and place a second pin. Finally, go back to the top of your binding and mark a 2-inch gap above that very first pin. This 2-inch mark will be your signal to stop sewing when you have travelled all the way around the quilt. Using a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, begin by stitching just 1 inch of the binding onto the quilt. Stop sewing when you get to the 1-inch pin mark. Then leave the 3-inch gap completely unsewn. This creates the opening we will use later. Resume your stitching at the 3-inch pin mark and continue down the side. Continue sewing until you're exactly 3/8 of an inch from the first corner. Stop with your needle in the down position to hold your place. Lift the presser foot and turn your quilt. Then continue stitching directly to the corner and off the edge. To create a perfect mitered corner, lift the binding strip straight up and away from the quilt. This action creates a diagonal fold. Then fold the binding strip back down, making it perfectly flush with the top edge of the quilt. This creates a neat pleat at the corner. Secure this fold with a quilt clip to hold it firmly in place. These little clips are perfect for holding these thick layers together without shifting as you move the quilt back to the machine. Begin stitching again right from the top edge of this new side. Repeat this entire corner process and stitching along the binding for all 4 corners. Part 3. Finishing your binding with a professional touch. Continue sewing around the quilt until you reach that pin marking the 2-inch gap you made at the very beginning. Now we will join the ends. Fold up the remaining tail of the binding so it sits just above the 3-inch gap. Trim the excess binding, leaving just enough to slip neatly into the folded pocket you created at the start. Trim a tiny sliver, about 1/8 of an inch, off the raw edge of this tail to ensure a snug fit. Now place the end of the binding fabric into the starting pocket and pin it securely in place. Finally, stitch that entire seam closed until the binding is completely sewn on. Next, fold the back and press the seams flat with your iron. Turn the quilt over so you are now working on the back side. This is where care and precision create a beautiful finish. And honestly, this is where having the right tools, like good quality quilt clips, makes all the difference. Begin by folding a section of the binding over the raw edge to the back of the quilt. Pull it snugly to keep the front edge looking neat and crisp. Make sure the folded binding on the back completely covers the raw seam allowance and lies flat, ready to be caught by your final stitch from the front. Press this section firmly with your iron to create a sharp, defined crease. Once it's pressed, secure that section with quilt clips. This is truly where these clips become invaluable. They have a much stronger grip than pins, easily holding all the thick layers of your quilt, sandwich, and binding together without any slipping. Plus, they slide on and off quickly and won't leave any pinholes in your beautiful fabric. If you're still using pins for this step, upgrading to clips is a genuine game changer that makes the process faster and more enjoyable. We started at the corner first, then worked our way down the side. To create a flawless pointed corner, carefully fold the binding from the other side of the quilt over the top of the first fold. This should meet up perfectly. creating a sharp, pointed corner. Press it again, and then use another quilt clip to hold the finished corner securely. The strong spring in these clips is exactly what you need for these thickest points of the quilt, where a pin would struggle. Continue this method. Fold, iron, and then clip for the remaining binding all the way around the quilt. For the final step, take your beautifully prepared quilt to your sewing machine. Start stitching anywhere on the front of the quilt, using the stitch in the ditch method. This means you will guide your needle to sew perfectly in the seam where the binding meets the main body of the quilt, which hides the stitches on the front. When you get to a corner, simply stop with your needle in the down position. Lift the presser foot and rotate the quilt. Put your foot back down and continue stitching down the next side. Continue in this fashion until you have sewn completely around the entire quilt. And there you have it. Your quilt is now finished with a strong, elegant, and professionally applied binding.